Freak Show. Let's review episode 10 of American Horror Story Apocalypse. And spoiler warning to those of you out there who haven't watched it. This episode was written by our gods, Ryan and Brad, and it was directed by Bradley Bucker. Not Evan Peters. I'm surprised we didn't get an episode directed by Evan this season. I thought we were supposed to. Alright, bitches. The category is Season Finale. This is the finale fantasticale, and it opens with Jeff and Mutt planning the residence of the outposts, while Myrtle enchants Miss Venable to allow her into the building, which was pretty hilarious. Well, kind of more like I guess Venable had no choice. Jeff and Mutt place themselves in outpost number 2, and we finally learn the locations and some of the residents of the outposts. Myrtle says that Mr. St. Pierre Vanderbilt will purchase 4 tickets, and they will accept them and place the family in outpost 3. Now, Jeff and Mutt obviously question Myrtle and what she wants, and she uses her magic to shut them up. Oh, thank God. I loved that scene. It was fantastic to just finally see someone shut those idiots up. Now, I'm not joking when I say that Myrtle does all of us a favor, and she kills Jeff and Mutt right then and there. Yes, queen! The one-liner award goes to Miss Venable when she replied to Myrtle, who asked to see Jeff and Mutt. Venable says, "You might as well ask me to explain your hair." That one was awesome. Now, all of the witches are in the opening credits, guys, so we know they're going to appear in this episode. Now, this is where Cordelia plans to place Mallory and Coco under an identity spell and place them in the Outpost 3. We get the information on that, and Myrtle tells Coco her new personality is modeled after Madison, and the look on her face is hilarious. Now, her job is to demean Mallory so that her magical powers can't be sensed by Michael. It was a pretty powerful scene to see Coco tell Mallory that she's her best friend and go on ahead and apologize for whatever she will say while she's under the influence of the spell. Madison is a chauffeur to our new Coco and Mallory, and I didn't realize that, guys, in the opening episode that it was Madison who was the chauffeur. Now, it's really fun to see Coco back with Madison's personality, guys. That itself was just great to see in this episode. Now, Madison does see Dinah's advertisement for her new show on a bus right next to her, and it pisses her off. Coco meets Mr. Gallant for the first time, and Brock is in the salon that Mr. Gallant works in and meets Coco. Madison goes and asks Cordelia for permission to burn Dinah Stevens for her part in killing the Coven, but Cordelia says no, it might alert Michael. So they want to leave Dinah where she is so that way she can pay later. And guys, you know that this is obviously going to get good later in the episode. Now, the Coven did survive the apocalypse by burying themselves underground. The Louisiana swamp mud contains that many healing properties, guys. It's really no joke. I mean, fuck it. You know, it's finale fantasticale. Let's just go with it and let's just see where this leads up. Now, we do see the events leading up to the apocalypse, and the show gets right back in sync with the present storyline. This is where it's Halloween night, and Michael says that if the witches accept him as their Lord and Savior, he will allow them to live. And this is where Dinah steps up and says that the witches resurrected her, so that way they could have the power of her voodoo. But she'll only serve Michael, the winning side. And I had to say, guys, when this part was playing, I had my fingers crossed, and I kept saying, please bring back Marie Laveau. Please bring back Marie Laveau. You know, the power of Marie Laveau compels you to bring her back. Now, this is when Marie Laveau saunters in. We all got our wish. Y'all were right. Episode 10 is definitely a 10 right here, right now. I'm calling it a perfect 10. You know, people, can you hear this? Because we have Marie Laveau. Therefore, it grants a perfect 10 to the episode. Freaking finale fantasticale, I gotta say. You guys were right when you said that you saw her in the previews for next week. But I did not report on it due to the fact that I did not want to be spoiled to the finale. Now, Cordelia went to Papa Legba with her awesome credit, and she managed to exchange Marie's soul for Dinah's awful, nasty, murderous soul. Ha 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 ha! I loved that. And with one word, Cordelia made Miss Mead explode. Why the hell didn't she do that shit at the academy? Madison picks up Mead's gun and shoots Michael into submission. Now, he obviously isn't dead and won't be quiet in his time out for so long, so Madison offers to hold him off while the others can send Mallory back. And sadly, guys, this is where our Brock finally appears and he kills our Mallory because he feels that he should have been the one on the plane rather than her. And of course, this pisses off our Myrtle and she burns him alive. Oh, great scene there. And remind me, guys, never piss off Myrtle. Poor Madison didn't even make it halfway through this episode, y'all. Michael totally woke up and blew her head off. Literally. And while Cordelia is trying to revive Mallory, evil is literally creeping up the stairs behind them. It was such an intense, incredible scene. And sadly, guys, our Marie Laveau, the HBIC, her life is short-lived and she dies at the hand of Michael. Another one that you should take literally. Now, if Coco tells Michael how many calories are in that heart that he's about to eat, I'm going to piss myself from laughing so hard. But sadly, Coco dies with the snap of her neck, and that's all for our girl Coco. Now, Cordelia does try to force a nearly dead Mallory back in time, but sadly, there's just no use. So Delia goes out there to meet Michael, and she easily takes away his knife and stabs herself in the chest, which obviously will revive Mallory, which it does. But guys, I was so shook. Even Michael was so shook. Our wigs were in another freaking galaxy, and it was just so heartbreaking to hear Myrtle scream Cordelia's name like that when she stabbed herself. Now, Mallory goes back to the year 2015 at the murder house, and we do get to see Constance again. Again, this was something that I did not report on because I did not want to be spoiled as to some of the details regarding the finale. Now, Constance does kick Michael out of the house after he kills the priest. And when he walks across the street leaving the house, freaking Mallory runs his ass over again and again and again. I mean, I can safely say to y'all that Jesus took the wheel in this situation. As Michael dies, he does ask Constance to take him to the murder house so that way he can be with her still forever. And she's cradling him in his arms and she tells him to go to hell and literally drops his corpse on the street to walk away. Oh my God, that is just so awful. But it was just so cold and hilarious. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, it's still 2015 and Mallory does know who she is. She's living life knowing that she saved the world and killed the Antichrist. Now, she can't tell anyone, and that's all right, but she does join the Coven. Zoe is still alive, as is Queenie. Now, Myrtle is still dead, as Cordelia has no reason to raise her from the dead, and Mallory advises Queenie not to stay at the Hotel Cortez when she goes to LA, hence saving her life as well. And due to Mallory killing the Antichrist, even demons, like she said, they hate their boss. So as presents to sort of Mallory, the demons released Misty and Nan from hell. But, you know, Nan wants to go back to hell and be Papa Legba's boo. So, you know, Nan and her boo thing, Papa Legba, I gotta say, I'm just happy that Nan's happy. Now, Mallory, she can go on ahead and get Madison from hell, but she wants her to stay in retail hell just for a little bit longer. I love that. That was so funny. And Mallory isn't stupid, guys. She knows that evil will always find a way to grow. And then the show cuts to the year 2020 when Emily and Timothy, our two main characters from the beginning of the season, meet at a protest. They fall in love, get married, and 1 year later they have a son. 3 years later, the two come home after they were being out on a date together. They come home to see that their son has murdered the babysitter. And then a few seconds later, Anton and his cardinals are knocking at the door saying that this is the day that they've been waiting for. Hence, giving us a repetition of Michael and being the Antichrist in Murder House. Now, this new child is the Antichrist in Apocalypse. Guys, I know that I bitched about episode 9, but I definitely give this episode a perfect 10 for wrapping up the season nicely with like a beautiful little Christmas bow on top of this perfectly little wrapped little present. The only part that I thought that sucked was Cordelia's spell to blow up Miss Mead. I mean, I kind of get now why she didn't do that in the last episode, but I mean, I really wish that they wouldn't have used it. Maybe they would have done something else. She probably obviously didn't need to be in the room in order for her spell to work, so I don't understand why she didn't blow up Mead in episode 9. But you know, it's the finale Fantasticale, right? That we just went with it. This episode had everything, and it punched you in the fucking face at every turn, from Brock stabbing Mallory in the stomach to Mallory running over Michael with the car. I mean, I just loved it. And I don't think the finale tops the hotel or the asylum finale, but it's a pretty good runner-up to those two powerhouse seasons. I'll have my final thoughts on the season next week once I've watched it again and kind of let everything sink in. By the way, I prepared for the apocalypse, guys, and I'm having a special live stream tonight before the finale airs on FX, and I'll give out a bunch of prizes during the special live stream and Beyond the Horror, including my mystery packages for my US residents. So join me tonight. Links to the live streams are in the description. And I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons whose generosity paid for the prizes I give away to you. Alicia, Mia, and baby Jalen George, No-Tell Hotel, Michael Mullins-Wright, Jeremy Oren, Vic and Stark, Irish Melly, Kenny Joseph, Joseph Anthony, Rhiannon Gilrith, Dawn Ford, Ex Misa, Jill Post, Mei-Ling V, Sue Maywan, Cody Begg, Michael Good, Maureen Healy, Shay Sultan, Ray Myers, Leah Bashford, Rez Ramirez, Cody Spencer, Mike Gedney, and Debbie Ebby Babebby. To become a patron and earn tons of rewards for just $1, click on the link in the description. Now, I really want to know what y'all thought of episode 10. Please let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to support the channel, leave a like or a dislike. Weekly Wednesday live streams are going to start back next Wednesday, because we won't have spoilers. But it will be also tomorrow on Thursday, and Beyond the Horror, my unofficial American Horror Story after show, is every Wednesday night immediately following the current episode of American Horror Story Apocalypse. Thank you all so much for watching and for being with me this entire season. It was incredible to read your theories and chat with you in the comments and just listen to what you had to say. Thank you all again for being with me this season. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and beware of the tearjerker watching Sexy Scathach.
Beware of Sexy Scathach.
AHS Apocalypse premieres Wednesday, September 12th on FX.